All right. Well, thank you very much for coming, everybody. Today, day 12 of day 20 or 20 days of the daily real estate workout. And remember, I will be uploading this to my Facebook page. So if you want to revisit that, all of the other videos of all of the other days should be on my Facebook page. But if there's any specific day that you need that you missed, feel free to let me know and I could send those to you. Also, they're all uploaded to my YouTube page too. So they're on my YouTube page, they're on my Facebook page, and I can also email them to you too. So, and the ones on the YouTube page will be there forever. So anytime in the future, you can always go back and reference anything there. But a lot of these, of course, have been based on current market conditions and economic things happening in the coronavirus. So hopefully a lot of this information will be over with and done with over the next couple weeks, months, future, but a lot of it also is things that you could put into your business at any time. So today I will share my screen here and get started with the program. 1 second, and share and play. There we go. All right, day 12. Hopefully everybody is stretching your muscles every day with a little bit of motivation, and I'm going to give you a little bit today in a second. And also remember, every day review your goals. What did you accomplish yesterday? What you're going to accomplish today, and hopefully you're hitting those goals. And thank you to all the agents watching and live now and watching recorded, because I'm getting great responses with people, especially in the last couple of days. Things have picked up a lot for a lot of agents out there. Buyers are start thinking out there. They're seeing the rates. They're seeing the sunshine and the spring coming out around the corner and ready to get out there in the market. So I see things picking up very quickly with a lot of agents already. I have one agent last night, 10 o'clock at night, put an offer on a house, went on, his buyer went on yesterday in the afternoon, already had 6 multiple offers in less than a few hours. And they had to go $5,000 over asking price to get the house, and they did get the offer in and they were accepted. So $5,000 over asking within hours of listing the property yesterday. 6 offers, and that's fast. I don't know how many buyers. I would love to be able to talk to all of those agents that put an offer on that house to see if any of them were virtual showings. Any of them were putting offers in without the buyer seeing. I can't see that many buyers are out that quickly within a few hours of there. So that's what I've been saying, and a lot of you have been watching. Remember that there's going to be a lot of things selling a lot quicker now, because people are going to be putting offers on houses, sight unseen, just seeing pictures online or virtual showings with their agents. So there might be, for a while, you can't wait a day or two to see a good house in an area, that desirable area that a lot of buyers are active in, because they're going to get offers in it quicker than ever before because of what's been happening. So back to your daily thing of get your heart rate up, make those calls and texts and connections and Facebook messages. And of course, at the end of every day, make sure you're going through what you've accomplished for the day. Definitely have to do that every day. So daily motivation of the day: if you want to conquer your fear, don't sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. So today, the topic is a little bit more about sellers right now, potential sellers, and things that I'm helping agents with on a daily basis right now, and have been for a month. So about sellers, things that could say to sellers about their fear of what's going on in the market, fear about what's going on, health reasons, and staying safe. So that I figured that motivation today was a little bit about fear, and you just got to do it. So some of the things that we're going to be talking about with sellers and their fear is that if they really want to sell and need to sell, we'll get their property marketed. We're going to go through it step by step, try to do our best to make sure they're comfortable and safe, and buyers are safe, and everybody's safe, because right now it's all a comfort level. As you see right now in the market, in the world, you're seeing different sides and different views. Some people want to be safe. Some people don't think they need to be safe. But You've got to take that in consideration for your seller. So I see this happening, and it's going to happen quickly, is you have to make sure both the parties, the buyer and seller, are on the same page with safety. And example, and I'm going to go through some of this in the next few slides, but I want to give you a summary of what we're going to be talking about a little bit, is that you have sellers out here that might want to be safe and want to verify the buyers are safe when coming to their home. And now you might have buyers here that don't feel that they need to be safe anymore, or act in a certain way. And you're going to have to communicate. You might be in situations where you have to communicate with that. Example, like when showing houses, I'll dumb it down to something that doesn't seem that serious now. When we walk into a house, how many houses have you shown? The sellers are gone, they're there, and they put a big sign up, take off your shoes. And all of a sudden you have buyers that say, I don't feel comfortable taking off my shoes. What did you do? What did you do at that time? What do you tell your buyers? I'm like, this is really the seller's request. They want to make sure, and I know, I'll just tell, I'm not making an opinion on it, but I'll tell you what happened. I had buyers that said, okay, I'll take off my shoes. I had buyer says, I don't care. I'm going in this house. I want to walk through this house. I'm not taking off my shoes. And then at the time, in hopes that there wasn't any mud or anything that could get on the house. Now we're talking about situations where it's health. And also I'm reminding our buyers and reminding all of our agents that sellers now have cameras in their house. Security cameras, nanny cams, whatever, are in their house, and they're legally allowed to have them in their house. They don't have to tell anybody. I will just say my opinion and everything that I've seen, well, not really my opinion, everything I've read legally. I'm not an attorney, but as far as I know, my experience, my knowledge is that you can record. You're legally allowed to record, just have cameras in your house without telling people, but you're not really supposed to have any type of recording devices on that. So you're not supposed to be recording them. So that's again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know 100%, I know 99%. But so I've been telling people, especially with safety, health reasons, things like that, you got to make sure that people are safe, that they're, and if they're requesting something, a seller's requesting something, that the buyer's following through with that, because they might see it in a camera, they might verify it, and then it might hurt you as an agent, or whatever legal things that could happen. So I'm going to go over some situations like that in this video. So first I'm going to start with something that you could post today. This is just a post. You could take a screenshot of this. It's just like 101 or 100 fun things to do at home right now. Do it from virtual tours to animal cams and more. Some things that you could do from home without even leaving your house. So these are just ideas that I found and seen articles are. It's very interesting. You know, some kid friendly, some just for adults. Things to do that, you know, when you're feel that you need to get out and do something different, not just sit around and watch TV. So it could be something neat that you'll get some comments on. You could even follow this up when you're posting this on your Facebook page. You could please see, have any of you done any of these things? And you go to this website, they give you a list of all the different museums that you could kind of do virtual walkthroughs and do different things and see different and live webcams and animal cams. And it's a lot of neat things. I would never even think over 100 things that you could do virtually like what's on this web page, but you could ask for people's opinions of what they have done or seen or taken, like virtual vacation. So ask a question, do something in your social media to get people to respond, say something to you so you can communicate with them and communicate with your sphere of people and get your social media boosted up so people see it. Because the more interaction you have, like I've always said, the more interaction you have, the more comments, and the comments you make back into likes puts it higher. So when people that are you're friends with are on your Facebook, will get that on higher up and see that more often. You always wonder why someone gets 500 likes and there's 150 comments, because it keeps on popping up up new. The more times people respond to things. So keep the conversation going. Will keep your social media going. So something to think about today. What the topic I was explaining is that objections and showings. Sellers are fearful of allowing buyers to view their homes because of health and liability issues. Own this objection by addressing concern, safety, protocol, and providing options. So we're going to go over that a little bit. And then here are things that you can do about that, and we'll go over. Work with your current and future sellers, because you might be talking to people that are thinking about selling soon. I have a lot of agents that I know that have had sellers that were put at things on hold. So they have to revisit, like, what have you done with differently now to keep everything safe, because they put it on hold because they wanted to be safe or didn't want to leave the house or for whatever reason. So here are a couple of things that you can do is that talk to the buyer's agent, find out who's coming. So one of the things I've been coaching agents to do for sellers is to talk to the buyer's agent, actually get on the phone with every showing before they show the property. Get on the phone with them and explain to them, hi, I'm Tony Geraci with Century 21 HomeStar. I'm the listing agent. You just made an appointment. Thank you very much for making an appointment to show my property. My sellers would like me to ask a few questions about the seller, just to see how if they're pre-approved with a lender, and then see how big of an interest they have in the property before they see it, just to see, to make sure they're not tire kickers, they're not nosy neighbors, they're not someone that's really serious, that's not serious about buying now. So this is a question you can ask buyers agents, just for a little information about your buyers, to see how serious they are, because they don't feel comfortable with anybody and everybody walking through their house. So sellers are allowed to say only pre-approved buyers. Now, if they really want to be very strict, you could do ask for virtual showings. I highly don't recommend it, pushing buyers to go a certain way, unless you have a house that's hot and it's going to go fast. It's just who's going to come in there and do everything quicker. But we do have some sellers that just wanted virtual showings, just pictures, no physical showings, because we have several listings that say no physical showings until further notice, but they're still accepting offers and contingent on them seeing the property in the future. Also, we could explain to sellers what a no-touch showing is. What a no-touch showing to me is that you explain to your sellers that we're going to do everything we can to keep everything as open as possible. Open all the doors, open closet doors, anything that a buyer would try to open to look at, try to keep open so no one has to touch these things. Obviously not the refrigerator or freezer or something like that. But make sure and then let the buyer's agent know, hey, sellers are very concerned. Thank you for showing the property, but we're going to do a no-touch showing. If you can do your best to explain to your buyers, we're going to leave everything open. Please don't touch anything that they don't have to. If they do touch something, please feel free to let us know so we can wipe it down. I know there's going to be sellers out there that are going to try to ask buyers to wear masks. These are things that are just happening now. A couple weeks ago, I didn't even think of this, but now, as you're seeing on the news, there's stores now, airlines, different things that are making a choice saying, hey, you come into our store or our establishment or our airline, we're going to require you to wear masks. Sellers have a right to do the same thing. So you as an agent have to work with the other agent to let them know if their sellers have that requirement, how you're going to police that, how you're going to provide masks, how if the buyer's agent is going to provide masks, what they can open and touch. So there's going to be a lot of things when you have a seller that wants to be safe and you want to also give them these options too. So they know that you are out there trying to make sure that they're comfortable with everything that you're doing on your side to make sure they are safe and taken care of. And also stick to their schedule. We've seen this happen already, and it's been happening. with vacant houses. Some agents, just because it's vacant, might not stay to their schedule of their scheduled time. They might come late, they might come early because they're running early, and there might be another showing. So remind the other agents that they might not know that there's a showing right before them or after them, but you might want to do that so they're not together, because again, it's your responsibility as a listing agent to notify buyers agents of what's going on. I know the buyers agents really should stick to their schedule, but sometimes they don't, and that other agent might get upset. Again, the good and the bad news is your sellers are not there, and they're not going to get upset about it, but you just want to make sure the buyer's agent and their clients are safe, and to let them know that there's showings right before or right after. You could put that even on the showing instructions. Make sure you're stick to your time. Please do not come early or show up late. There may be other showings. You could do whatever possible to stop or alleviate yourself from doing all that extra work. So these are some of the things that you can work with your sellers to make sure that they're safe, to make sure they're comfortable. And why I say future sellers is there's people that you may be talking to that want to list their house in the future or soon. Right now, they might have put it on hold. Always remember that, or keep in the back of your mind, is that there might be another agent that they're interviewing with or talk to. I don't know. I say this so many times. I wish I had a nickel for every time I heard from an agent that said, I had this listing, I thought I had it, and then all of a sudden they're listed with someone else. If that's happened to you, you're not too sure what the reason was, you thought you had it, they said they were going to list with you, they listed with someone else. Maybe you just didn't go through everything with them. So make sure you tell any potential sellers that you have procedures in place, systems in place, things that you're going to do to keep their sellers safe and keep them comfortable, because you might think you had a listing 3 weeks ago and but they put it on hold. Next thing you know, they talked to another agent, ran into another agent called them on something, or someone referred them to someone else, and they said something to them about safety or something that really connected with them that you didn't say, and they never even gave you the opportunity to see if you could do the same thing in the same service. So always resell yourself every time you talk to a new buyer, or a buyer that said they're going to come back to you, a seller to come back to you, because always reassure them of all the great things that you can do for them. And then this is just a little script of a situation or a thing that you might come across, is that the objection is, I don't want buyers entering my home during this health crisis. I don't want to be liable if they get sick, and I don't want my family to be at risk. This is a response that you could say that I completely understand. Many people are experiencing the same feelings of uncertainty. If we can find a way around this, is selling your home still the right decision for you right now? We can limit buyers to only virtual tours. If any buyers who view the home demonstrate they are serious about buying your property, we could talk about allowing only the buyers to tour the home, strictly follow the CDC guidelines for protection, mask, gloves, sanitizer. So like I was saying before, be ready with some scripts or things that you're going to say at a moment's notice when this comes up. You don't want to be taken aback by the question, like, I don't know what I'll do. So be ready. Always think of different objections people are going to have during this crisis, because it's still going on. It's going to, I will say this, it's going to be going on for a while. What I mean by that, there's going to be people that have fear. There's going to have people that have objections. There's going to have people that have concerns for a while. Who knows how long? You're going to come across people with these concerns. And I think that the health and the safety it's not going to go away for quite a while. Even when this is gone and everything's back to normal, there's still going to be people that say, just back to that example of taking off your shoes in someone's house, that there might be people that are saying, I want to make sure that people are pre-qualified, do a virtual tour before they come here. I want to make sure who's coming to the house, or they're not. I want just the buyers, the people making the decision. I don't want them to bring 18 family members with them on the tour of the house. I want to do less touch showings and not touch as much stuff. So there are going to be people with concerns and safety for a while. So be ready with ideas and things that you can do. Have booties ready at the house, you know, that you could get those pretty cheaply to help sellers, make them feel comfortable that people are not walking around their house. I mean, that safety wise, and you know, for not taking off their shoes. You could even have gloves if you want to. You could even have hand sanitizer, little hand sanitizers there. Whatever you need to do to invest in getting the listing and helping your seller, you could show that. You could, you know, I picture this, and I've seen this happen, is that just a little table in the front, hand sanitizer, gloves, booties, anything that keep your sellers happy. Go the extra mile, invest a little bit of money and time. You don't always have to put this on the buyer's agents to do all this, because they might not do it, but it'll also show your sellers that you're making sure you're providing things to get the listing, providing that they're going to be safe, and you're looking at their concerns and showing what you're going above and beyond what other agents might do for them too. Also be in constant communication with the buyer's agent about the buyers as much as possible, about pre-qualifying them. They're not tire kickers, and they're not just coming through because and they're looking to buy, and they're using that house as an example of something else. You never know. You probably have had buyers like this before, where you're going to show them houses where you know 100% they're not even interested in this house. They just want to compare it to another house or whatever. We've had clients like that. You get the feeling for that this is not a house they would even be willing to buy, but we're showing it to them because we want to keep them happy. Maybe we could cut that down a little bit because of the safety and what sellers are doing out here. So these are some objections that you might see. Continue on with sellers and potentially new sellers. So have objection handling scripts and ideas and things to say to them. You could even bring it up so it doesn't, because they might not be feel comfortable even bringing it up, because they don't know that there's ways that we can keep them safe. So you could ask them do they have any concerns about buyers coming through their house. So a lot of houses are coming back on the market that were temporarily off the market. You might have some sellers like that. So have these conversations with them. Have a checklist of some of these things I put in here to ask them the question of how safe do they want to be? Do they want you to ask buyers to be? And then keep that conversation going, because things change. I've seen it in the last couple of weeks with agents calling me and asking me some advice, where we had buyers that felt fine, and then all of a sudden they saw something on the news, and the next day they're not fine about going to see houses. All of a sudden you have a seller that says, oh, I'm fine, and the next thing you know, and I see it happening now, is that all of a sudden they're like, okay, let's list the house. Everything seems to be okay. And then next week, spike in cases or deaths or something. And they go, okay, shut down my house. I don't want anybody to come through the house. We're going to see that. And we just got to be prepared for it. Have objection handling skills and how we could help them to keep their house in the market and keep the buyers coming, or through virtual tours, and keep it going, because their ultimate goal is to sell their house. Ultimate goal of buyers to buy our house and keep them all together and keep everybody happy as best we can and safe as best we can. So that is it for today. Keep those things in mind when working with sellers. Remember, use me as a resource. Feel free to call me, text me, email me, and I'll be happy to meet with you one-on-one over the phone, over Zoom, and go over ideas and help you with your business and your sellers. And definitely, I've been helping a lot agents recently with their listing presentations, just to prepare. So some of them that are not going out listing appointments now, but I could help you prepare your listing appointment presentation now for the future. So when you have some buyer or sellers in the next couple of weeks or months, you have a great listing presentation ready with some of this information in there to help you. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching and attending today. Hope you can make it tomorrow, day number 13 on Wednesday. Have a great day, everybody. Great week, and we'll see many of you very soon. Bye-bye.